Because there are claims that Prince Charles was overheard criticising the government scheme to send illegal immigrants to Rwanda by calling it appalling. Should the royals be political, Linda? Should they get involved in all this?
I think they're entitled to an opinion like all of us, and I think it's a shame what they're trying to do, which is when people arrive in this country illegally, instead of sorting it out here or trying to help people that have arrived because they're fleeing a war-torn country or whatever, they're sending them to Rwanda. So, and I think that's just like passing the problem on to another country, isn't it, really, rather than trying to deal with it here in this country.
And what do you make of it, Jane? Is this usual for things to be leaked in this way?
Well, I mean, yeah, they are stressing he made the comment privately, but Charles has been around a long time and he knows that in certain circles, things that he says will maybe leak out unless it's completely inner circle. So, you know, did he know it was going to leak out and maybe wanted people to know that point of view? I don't know. But no, as head of, if you're going to be head of state, you've got to be non-political. Because if you think about it, your job is to go around the country, to go and meet different people in different walks of life. And if you bring political opinion into those situations, then it means that you can't go into that situation just impartially and that they welcome you, because then you'll be getting into all sorts of... We've got enough people, you know, we've got politicians giving us their opinions, and that's what they're there to do. But for me, the royals should not express opinions. And, you know, as I say, I do want to stress he did say it privately. On the point of view about saying that Rwanda is appalling, there are lots of people putting that sentiment out there, and that's fine. But for me, it's what is the alternative? Because if you actually look at Prince Charles, does Prince Charles ever have to wait for a GP appointment? No. Is Prince Charles on an NHS waiting list for 4 years to get a hip replacement? No. You know, is Prince Charles's grandchildren, are they going to a substandard school? You know, is he having to get trains to commute that are going on? Whatever. He's not leading a normal life. So I think a lot of people find it a little bit irritating that he takes this view of, well, I mean, the natural extension of him saying it's appalling is maybe what you've just said, is that we should just let everybody who wants to come here. But that won't impact on his life. And with all due respect, it won't impact on your life either.
No.
Well, I think it's easy enough to sort of say that, but you sort of have migrants coming into the country who do jobs that are very much needed here. Yeah. The care system is a very good example of that, and part of the issues that we have within the care system is about getting enough staff into care homes, those who are carers who will go into their own homes to go into care for people, and you tend to find that it's workers that are not from the UK that take on those sorts of jobs. And, you know, in terms of the UK having issues where migration and immigration is concerned, I mean, we can go back decades and decades and decades, and it's been exactly the same thing. And guess what? The country hasn't fallen apart. But this is a £120 million trial. And I was looking at the numbers, because obviously we've just had a Homes for Ukraine in terms of because of the war and encouraging people to come into our homes and all those sorts of things. And I think we're now at about 60,000 Ukrainian refugees have arrived in the country, either to stay in families or through the homes with their own family or through the Homes for Ukraine. And last year it was 28,000 people arrived by boat. So those numbers, we've got twice as many Ukrainians coming to the UK, which were welcomed with opening arms. We had massive campaigns about it. And it feels as though not all migrants are the same. We treat one sector of migrants slightly different from another.
But not everybody's coming from a war-torn country, are they? A lot of them are coming... And I don't blame them. Listen, no. if I lived in a country that was economically, you know, much more substandard than this one, and I wanted a better life, I'd absolutely try and get in those boats. But a lot of them are not coming from war-torn countries. They're coming because they want a better life, and I can't blame them for that. But if that better life is to the detriment of the people already living here,
but we don't...
people who are already migrants as well, here, people who are already here, if that's to the detriment of their life...
But I think it's really easy to blame you know, those who have the quietest voices, it's very easy to blame them for the ills of society or, you know, yes, we are in a cost of living crisis, all of those things, but it isn't necessarily the fault of the 28,000 people who arrived by boat last year.
No, nobody's saying it's their fault.
That can be a lot to do with policy.
What is the solution if you don't do the open borders policy? And there are a lot of people that think we should have an open borders policy. But if we're not going to have an open borders policy, what is the solution to stop people getting into those boats and dying?
I don't think that's going to deter someone, though, because I think if you're in that situation, we all know, we've all got children, we've all got families, if you need to get out of somewhere and you're desperate, whether you know what's going to happen when you get to that country, you don't know what's going to happen, you're not going to care. You're going to do whatever you can to get out of the situation you're in. So I think... I don't know what the answer is, and it's not my job to know what the answer is.
We're discussing it again, and none of us have got a solution.
But it's very few people that are actually going to qualify to go over to Rwanda, and there's a lot of money that's being paid out for this. And perhaps it could be a situation we need to deal with the system as it exists now. And I've got people, you know, I've got friends who've been waiting for years to get their immigration status sorted within the UK. So perhaps if the money was spent sorting out the system that we have now, maybe people would feel slightly better about the whole situation.
Persuading the French to let us have a processing area in Calais, which they won't let us do.
Well, we've been having immigration discussions since the end of the Second World War, and no one's found a solution to what they see as being a problem, so the debate will just carry on.